All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue on.
Actually, they have a patent on a device that draws ions out of the atmosphere that will power a car. Okay, so this is a legit thing. All right. Worship pastors are about to switch from performance focus to altar call focus, to prophesying, to ushering in the Spirit with zero restraints. The glory of God will fall and manifest so strongly that it will become commonplace for churches to fill with the radiant glory of God as it was in the tabernacle and the temple ages. Soon, God will show that he is well pleased with the church. There will be a cleansing as he cleanses his church, but there will be a new reverence for holiness and generosity, a new life of prayer in the saints, miracles, signs, and wonders manifesting. Even those born with no limbs will see limbs pop out. You're going to see all kinds of amazing things. Like, it will be just commonplace that if a Christian dies before their age, that they will be prayed for and they will come back to life. You will see resurrection. The resurrection power will be commonplace. This coming glory of God, you know, the glory manifestation or glory movement or whatever you want to call it, is going to be manifested power of God.
So he talks about the cleansing, and he also talks about all these spiritual events that are going to start taking place as far as God's glory, healing power, and those are some of the things that we have heard for a while. You know, people talk about the last dispensation, or they talk about, you know, the last days, you know, one last great move of God. And this last great move of God is not something that's just going to last a year or two. I believe this could last for years. So I do look for that. So that does go along the lines with what other prophets are saying that's going to start to manifest itself. And the reset of the church has to happen. It really has to happen before the great move of God can happen. You clean it up, then you have a clean space for God to operate in.
I heard last night while I was praying that we were at a breaking point. The Lord said breaking point is upon the U.S. He said in mere moments in God's timing, we will see things snap and justice will break forth. I saw a date last night while I was feeding the baby. It just flashed before my head, but I'm going to keep that to myself. But it's coming very soon. I don't feel like, I'll have to ask God and see, but I don't feel like we're going to see, you know, overturn this month. But I'm feeling like next month might be the month. And now, that's my personal feeling. I'm not telling you that that's a prophetic utterance. I'm just telling you that's what I feel, and I've been feeling it for a while. Okay. But I do know fall ends in December, so we're within a month and a half to 2 months of this being over. And actually this morning while I was praying, the Lord said, if we waited until February to return the president, the nation would be destroyed in that war and it would never happen.
Wow, so did you hear that, folks? That if he was to wait, this nation would be destroyed? And that's what I'm saying, folks, that we cannot stand. Imagine if we didn't have DJT even on the table for a return.
Months of this being over. And actually this morning while I was praying, the Lord said, if we waited until February to return the president, the nation would be destroyed in that war and it would never happen. So it has to be this year. Because if we go until February, this nation will be at war. Actually, China's preparing for war right now. That's one thing the Lord told me, was that China is going to start convincing their people that we are the enemy, that any American is the enemy, and you will see people start to act out against Americans in China, and even people from other nations, that if you are in a Chinese city, Hong Kong, or wherever, it will become a volatile place for Americans and people who are friends of America. So if you're from countries that are friendly to America, like the UK or to some degree Canada, you know, so Brazil, it would be a little less of Brazil, but it would be like you would see them starting to rise up and attacking people, going after embassies and stuff like that. So just pray about that. Pray that it doesn't happen.
All right, so he said pray that it doesn't happen. Now, one of the things I do want to bring up is that the narrative of what's going on with the virus and China doing everything they kept to cover up how it started, the events surrounding that, and now it's going to seem like they're going to, as we get more and more information about what's going on, China's going to try to change the narrative of its own people. So just be aware of that. So it seems like China's going to be really on the defensive in that moment to where they're causing their own people to start attacking Americans.
And then I saw flashes of videos. It was just videos playing, and the people in the videos were like in rallies or like in crowds, and they saying it's proven, it's proven, they will shout. It has finally come. How could it be true? Surely the Lord has heard our prayers. Our nation is saved. This is what God wanted to talk about while I was praying. He wanted to give you hope and let you know these are the things you're going to be hearing very soon. Now you know, if you watch this channel, that typically when I give a prophetic word, it usually takes less than a year to happen, but it usually happens within a few weeks of when I give a word. That's not always the case. And when I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong, I got it wrong, and I'll repent of it. But this is what the Lord was focusing on today, okay, was the fact that this nation's about to see justice and overturn. So pay attention to that. That was basically all that he was talking about, is what's going to happen when Trump's back in office and what's going to happen in the next coming weeks. Now, the Lord declares that this nation has been broken and divided, but he will make it mended and whole. He says, because my people have repented and cried out, gathered in solemn assembly, I will heal their land, says the Lord. So that is awesome. That is a great thing. He said, watch the stock markets. The Lord is about to expose corruption in Wall Street, and even though it will appear to be devastating, as many will withdraw, will sell their stocks and withdraw in fear out of losing money or being exposed, good fruit will be produced as the weeds are pulled up. And this will involve politicians, business owners, billionaires, CEOs, and even industries. What you like, not just like, I'm not talking like, oh, the tobacco industry. I'm talking like, you know, like Dunkin' Donuts. Corporations, probably a better word than industries. You know, like corporations or CEOs that are going to be exposed, participating in inside trading. And one thing the Lord told me was that as they get rid of these basically whales who are manipulating the market, you will see more stability in the market. More stability. Because those select few that control and have enough power to withdraw, you know, massive amounts of what they've invested and cause a big shift and drop in the stock markets, they won't have that power anymore, and the power will be given to the people. So you will see these things start to be more stable as they go. And obviously not every wealthy person is manipulating the market or this or that, you know. So there's still be very wealthy, intelligent people invested in the market, but it's going to be the ones that are wicked, the ones that are manipulating things, the Soros of the world, you know, they will be dealt with.
Okay, folks, now that is something that I have been harping on for a long time. As many of you don't know, the whole GameStop saga, which includes AMC and some other stocks, where massive manipulation was exposed. And you have a group of traders, millions and millions of traders who have been fighting the hedge funds because, as I've said in the past, folks, if a hedge fund wants a stock to go up, it'll go up. If a hedge fund wants a stock to go down, that stock is going to go down in a lot of cases. But there was so much stock market manipulation that's been exposed over the last 9 months because of the GameStop saga. And the SEC just came out with a report, and they're talking about, you know, banning payment for order flow. And there's all these whales. He mentioned whales, and whales are mentioned like in the cryptocurrency market mainly, but also in the stock market. And they do control the pricing of a lot of cryptocurrencies. They do control a lot of the pricing in the stock market. Now, the insider trading, We talked about Nancy Pelosi. You know, look at all the money she's making. Look at all the money that a lot of these politicians, and these politicians don't just make money just from trading, from insider information, but they're taking money through like the corporations. They're taking money through their subsidiaries. You know, I mean, if you're a politician, Bank of America could literally every flight you go on could be paid for by Bank of America. You're not getting the cash directly, but you're getting support in an industry that you're supposed to be fair for everybody. I talked about Zion Oil and the corruption of Citadel and what they did with Zion Oil and how they partnered with Yahoo to put out that news article, and they made millions while you lost a lot of money. So this cleansing the stock market is great. It's going to be a more fair and balanced stock market. And the whole thing with payment for order flow, people don't realize that these companies, you know, you go to put in a trade. It doesn't go to a lit exchange. It goes to a dark pool. So your trade is not even showing up. So that's why when all these people, they're buying AMC. But what's going on is that they're not going into the regular stock market. They're going into the dark pools. Dark pools should be banned. They're only supposed to be for companies that buy massive amounts of stocks, so it won't have a great impact on that particular stock, whether they buy or whether they sell, right? Or it's also supposed to be used as a position advantage for companies. Say, for instance, a company wants to invest in this brand new company, right? Nobody else knows about it. So this hedge fund or whatever, they'll go and invest in this company, and that order won't show up for 24 or 48 hours or something, because it was done in the dark pool. And it gives a competitive advantage for companies who don't want to let other companies know about what kind of moves that they are making.
All right, here's something the Lord said. Afghanistan wants to partner with China to go to war with our weapons. This is what the Lord told me. Anyway, Afghanistan is planning to attack certain nations. This will be exposed as information is leaked to number 45. They will seal their fate as a government. Revolutionaries will rise up with assistance from select trainers from other nations who are assigned to train their forces in order to combat the Taliban. So, just another America goes in, basically, or I actually saw Ireland getting involved. They go in, they train these rebels against the Taliban, and they train their soldiers and so forth in secret and private, and they arm them and equip them, and that regime is taken out. Taliban will not last much longer, okay? So don't ask me for a time frame on things.
Okay, so he said, he talks about when 45. So obviously Trump would have to be back in the office during this time period. I'm seeing between now and February, a lot of events are going to happen, and they're going to happen very fast. But this all remains to be seen.
Because the Lord usually doesn't give me time frames on things, okay? So, the Lord said that He is planning to move in Australia and that vaccine mandates will soon be struck down. I felt like there was like 2 or 3 cases that were coming that were going to end up resulting in the removal of the vaccine mandates. Also, you're going to start to see states other than Texas start to declare that the mandates are illegal in all senses, and some people will try to overturn this by taking it to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court will in turn say, no, the vaccine mandates are unconstitutional. So get ready. Is there anything else you want to say, Lord?
Okay, so he talks about the cookie mandate. So we're going to see that. Now, I know the Supreme Court recently turned down some more cases. Just keep in mind, this was October the 12th. So there have been cases that have gone forth. There have cases that have been presented, but they were denied to even argue. So we'll see about this. And it will be pretty huge when they do strike down these mandates. And who knows, this could be around the time when the nation, when there's a nationwide protest and strike going on.
Are unconstitutional. So get ready. Is there anything else you want to say, Lord? The Lord just wants you to know that He loves you very, very, very much. That He wants to be your best friend. He wants to live with you. If you're not a Christian, now is your opportunity to give your life to Jesus. So, I guess that's basically it, guys. Nothing.
Okay, folks, so you heard it from Robyn Cunningham. And hopefully I've presented all this different information. Like I said, the links will be down below in the description. We are getting closer and closer to finding out these different energy sources, companies, and so forth. As we get closer to this, I think the Lord is going to be a lot more revealing, and opportunities will come about this. Now, a lot of people, like we talked about the Iron Power Group, don't worry if you're not able to invest in this because you don't have enough money. There's going to be many opportunities in the stock market, in the currency markets, to where you're not going to have to worry about whether or not if you can invest in this company or that particular company, right? So hopefully this Iron Power Group will allow us to, at some point, invest in it, but that remains to be seen. But we're looking for, I think that with the amount of information that we have, that regardless of which of the Kim Clement wells that you invest in, that's going to allow you the ability to invest in this group. Now, let's just give an example, right? You got to have $200,000 to invest in this group. Now, this technology more than likely is not going to come until after the reset. This technology, as far as it being used on a national scale, it's going to be a little bit of time. It's not something that's going to happen right away. So, with that being said, when we see a reset, or maybe you make some money in XRP or any other stock or investment, and you have the money, then you'll be able to invest before the reset. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do and focus on is being able to be successful now, and then being able to invest in all the different wells before the reset, before these wars take place, before, and that's why I like presenting these things when people talk about the stock market going up, going down, crashing, flash crashing, whatever the case, those are opportunities that we're going to try to take advantage of. So you guys tell me what you think. There's a lot of information in this video. We are heading towards this climax and this reset and all these things taking off and all these investments and all these new technologies. It's going to be a great time, but we got to get through the bad before we can get to the good. So hopefully, folks, that we can keep this going and that we can become successful and build kingdom wealth for the kingdom of God, because we can't take it with us. We can leave it for our children, but we can't take we can't take it with us. And we need to have an impact on the church, on people's lives. We need to have an impact on the world, and that's what it's for. Our lives are nothing but a blink in the eye as far as history of the universe is concerned. And there will be people there have been billions and billions of people that have come before us, and there will be billions of people that will come after us. So anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. God bless. And with that being said, Twitch a Christian out.